Hello, welcome to our channel. We're just making sure the camera's working. We've had a lot of issues with our local FBI trying to shut us down because we tell the truth and they don't like that. Their promises are about as worthless as teats on a warthog. Anyway, this is a very interesting story. We're going to share it with you. It started on Sorsa. We give all credit to them. Trump declares emergency as alien craft headed to Earth and whales go silent. Remember that Star Trek movie where the whales go silent and they had to go find a whale and bring it back to Earth? Well, the blue whales off of the California coast have gone silent. 3 years ago, their food supply skyrocketed. We'll find out a little bit. First of all, grocery store prices keep going up and up as they're shutting down more and more grocery stores in the inner cities. And the banks, like KeyBank, they're not desperate for money. They don't care about money, but they're desperate to get your money. Now, why would KeyBank? Now, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them because I had a bank account there for a couple of years. So I only dislike them because I was there. They want you to put one of your direct deposits in there. You get $700. Maybe, possibly, could be, if you can read all those little words and understand Bouvier law and English maritime law, because they have lawyers loyal to the British Authorized Registry, the King of England, and all those words are English words. So if you can trust them, go ahead. Change banks, but they're desperate. And as tense economic times occur, unhinging brokers, a lot of the brokers are getting unhinged. We resolve to buy gold and silver because we want peace of mind. We want not to worry. We want our investments to go up, and we want peace of mind. We want to be able to kick back and put our feet up. And I go to Noble Gold because it's the easiest place to buy. I just call Hope or Josh. You speak to a real person in a real office, 877-646-5347. You pick it up. They tell you what to do. You do it, and the gold comes to you in a kind of an envelope that's non-distinct, and then you have to sign for it, and you get your gold and silver. It's that simple. I don't know any other company that does that. And on to the news. Guess what they discovered in Kenya? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Are you ready for this? $1.7 trillion of coltan. So what happens within a month? The CIA comes in with orange vests and lime green shirts and controllers, has riots all over Kenya. The Kenyan president is totally unaware of what's going on. He's like, well, we got student protest. No, you got coltan. They're going to overturn the government. So they tried a coup attempt. They're trying another coup attempt. And there's still more protesters. But the protests are like 30 or 40 people holding up signs in English. In English. Well, English is, their primary language is Kenyan. They're really different. But they're holding up signs in English. CIA. Can you smell a rat? I can. So anyway, are you shocked? I don't think so. Wikipedia calls coltan the metal of conflict. We discover $1.7 trillion in Kenya. Suddenly, the CIA tries a couple of coup attempts and has riots all over the capital city by students. Yeah, they just need the money is what they need. Anyway, on to the news, the state of emergency. Executive Order 14066 has been implemented. There's a 15% tariff on everybody who will not cooperate with the United States. There's now going to be a 100% tariff tonight on anybody who buys Russian oil. And there's going to be a 50% tariff on India. We import about $100 billion worth of stuff every year, plus or minus a few billion. Mostly electronics, clothes, things like that. Things that are put together by people. And then 39% on Switzerland, including Swiss gold. In other words, buy American mined gold. You better start checking your gold to make sure that it's real gold. That's one of the main reasons we go through Noble Gold. Because when I buy a gold or silver coin, I know it's real. That's going to get really important as these overseas tariffs come to play. So, Anyway, so Switzerland is throwing a hissy fit over a 39% tariff. Well, they don't allow the importation of American goods into Switzerland. India, you can't import American goods. So Trump finally said, fine, 50% tariff on your goods. And Switzerland, which is about $50 billion a year, they were much higher. 39%. That includes Rolex watches. It doesn't, however, include soup bouillon with meat in it, which is really bizarre. But it does include almost everything else. So, anyway, including the Rolex watches. Oh, wow. Anyway, they're about to find out how much a markup is on a Rolex watch, aren't they? Anyway, CERN director in Geneva, Switzerland, where they have a statue of Satan, Shiva, the planet destroyer, where they have a statue of Satan on top of CERN. All hail their master Satan. Sergio Bertolucci, who's the head of CERN, said, out of this door might come something. Or we might send something through it. In other words, CERN was built as a portal. We don't need cyclotrons to build atomic weapons. You take U-235, a little chunky U-235, about as big as the top of Immucyst, right? And you put it in Elmer Fudd's shotgun, and you put a piece of metal out there, and you fire Elmer. Boom! Atomic explosion. That's it. The Japanese, during World War II, couldn't figure it out. The Germans had it done in September of 1944. Then we bombed the heck out of their manufacturing facilities. And then we created it in April of 1945. We're a little bit too late. But anyway, then we used it in Japan. The cyclotron was an attempt to build an atomic weapon. First cup, gotta have the Immucyst. Anyway, so the CERN director said, out of this door might come something or we might send something in through it. CERN is a portal to the double HE hockey sticks. And the blue whales off the California coast have gone silent. Now, in 2022, they announced a huge increase in krill and shrimp. So the whales were having a great time. Unfortunately, HAARP, High Area Aurora Resolution Program from Alaska, fires up, destroys the ozone, fires into the ocean, and boils it. So all these dead little fish, anchovies, are showing up all over Monterey Bay, dead. They're boiling the oceans. One of the biologists says, well, they came into the shore and can't breathe. Yeah, is that why they're all cooked? Think again. Somebody's messing with the ocean. It's not that we dumped a bunch of nuclear waste there, although God knows we have nuclear waste sites all across the ocean, so if we have an earthquake, we destroy the Pacific Ocean. It's not that. It's not all the plastics we've been dumping in the oceans. Because all of a sudden the whales stopped singing. It's not because the krill and anchovy populations died. Because Trump is now pushing China 200 miles offshore. It could be that the Los Angeles is dumping their toxic waste 10 miles off coast. Yeah, that could kill them all, just like we're doing in Pacific Shores. We take it down from Canada. They're still in visual range. We watch these ships. They dump the waste. Pacific Naval Shores goes, and they watch the waste come ashore and turn the beaches black. Where's the Coast Guard? They're sitting on their thumbs, spinning in circles. They tell you to mind your own freaking business because they've all been paid off. Where's Homeland Security? They've all been paid off. Had the same problem in Republic, Washington. Guys come in with backpacks full of dope at 1 in the morning. Then Homeland Security gives them a good meal and rushes them back to the border. They cross to go get another backpack full of dope because they're all paid off. Money talks, BS walks. Anyway, so the blue whales have gone silent. Not because of a food source. Maybe because the Navy is using... You see, they broadcast in low frequency, which is what the submarines do. Maybe they're messing with their brains, frying their brains, like these windmills fry the whale's brains, and then they go, eyes rolling around like this, and they wash up on shore. That's happening all over Nantucket, where they have a big windmill factory with 19 windmills running. It costs us $200 million per windmill. Don't build a water-powered engine just because I've seen it and touched it and smelled it. Just because Stanley Myers did it. Don't build a water-powered motor. Just build windmills to kill the whales, right? Anyway, a mysterious interstellar object, 3I Atlas, we call it 3I, is aiming towards Earth. There's no tail. Avi Loeb from Harvard, and a lot of those people at Harvard do out-of-body experiences because they've taken the drugs, they're sold out to Satan, and when you do about out-of-body experience, I'm told that a demon leads you around whether you know there's a demon there or not. So the demons have led them to that spacecraft, and they think it's an alien craft. So Avi Loeb, a researcher at Harvard, says it's an alien craft. And Tulsi Gabbard, if you've noticed, when she was appointed head of intelligence, her face and her body changed. Either she's a shapeshifter or they put a clone on her face. Then suddenly she had this sexy streak of white hair. She never had that. Now she's appointed National Intelligence Director in charge of 18 of the United States' 80 intelligence groups. They're not unified. There's about 80 of them. There was 78 30 years ago. Now there's 80 of them. So Tulsi Gabbard's in charge of 18 of those 80 intelligence agencies. The United States, the more money you give the government, the more they waste it. So Tulsi Gabbard is hinting at, we think they're aliens. Well, come on. President Medved had said, when I became president, I got 2 folders. One is the Russian nuclear status. 2 is the status of all the aliens in Russia. All the aliens in Russia. 1 is the nuclear status. 2 is all the aliens in Russia. That slipped out of his mouth. Shortly after that, the fat Medvedev was replaced with a much thinner Medvedev. Isn't that amazing? They put a clone in his place. Or doubles. I don't know. They got rid of him. Because it's not the same President Medvedev because he hasn't aged one day in 15 years. Now let me ask you this. Do you know a president that hasn't aged one day, or aged tremendously after 4 years in office? But not Medvedev, not President Assad of Syria. Didn't age one day all the time he was in Syria. 20 years as president. Didn't age one day. Medvedev's the same way. After he said, I get 2 folders. 1 with the nuclear status, 1 with the status of every alien in Russia. He didn't say illegal alien. He said every alien. Now, we've known that the Germans had anti-gravity propulsion system craft since 1936. We also know they've had the time bell, where you spin particles almost the speed of light, you go forward in time, and faster than the speed of light, you go backwards in time. They're called beta minus particles. You power it with the antennae equal to the upper astral plane, or you can use a water-powered motor. It uses oxygen and water. You put it in, you have the exhaust go on the outside of the ship, it recondenses, and you get your oxygen and your water back. Because it's cold in space. It's really cold in space. You go out there, you freeze in about 2 seconds. Actually, I think it takes 30 seconds to freeze. Anyway, I talked with a gal who was a pilot selling pink tools at some display. She was ready to retire as a full bird colonel. She was a female, so she made full bird colonel. If she was a male, she'd only make lieutenant colonel. But she said, we got to watch out for 10 cities in Antarctica. If we get within 100 miles, our airplane disappears. It just disappears. It vanishes. Bzzz, disappears. Disintegrated. I said, yeah, those Nazi UFO bases, those Nazi cities can be irritating. She said, yes, they can be. We've had flying saucers on this planet, spinning Mercury one way, spinning Mercury the other way, like 2 bicycle wheels on top of each other. You tilt them to propel. It's like 2 tops sitting on each other, spinning in different directions. You have anti-gravity in the middle. Or the magnetic system, where you vibrate the hull faster than they're equal to the astral plane using the metals found in coltan and the wiring found in coltan. You vibrate the hulls faster and faster till you reach the upper astral plane, 40 times faster vibration than 85 megahertz. And then you going from Mars to Earth as you just step into it. The portal. Now, I don't know what they're using today. Probably some alien technology I've never even heard of. But anyway, so this craft is headed towards Earth, and I want you to understand, when all else fails, calling the alien card, our economy's collapsing. Prices have gone through the roof, Alice, and nobody's buying anything anymore. So all these tariffs are worthless because ain't nobody buying anything except those on food stamps who can still run to the casino and buy clothes. Yeah, go to Macy's, get your plastic clothes today. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we're going to find out how this turns out. Will this be the alien card they're going to play as the economies crash? We don't know. We're going to find out. Nobody's going to tell us, though. We'll just have to wait and see. But you heard it first here on Dr. William Mount. We'll see you tomorrow. No, we'll see you Monday, we think.